What's good, guys? Merry Christmas. Last pay-per-view of the year. All this YouTube drama, all this crazy stuff that's going on. I just can't wait to give you guys my 6 best bets in my lock of the week. Here we go. I'm going to give you guys my 6 best bets in my lock of the week, including 2 bonuses and including the lock of the week. Merry Christmas, the holiday spirit. Everybody's feeling it. And what better way to end off the year with one of the best pay-per-views of the entire year. UFC 310, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Garry, both undefeated, Pantoja versus Asakura. Everybody already knows how good this card is. Now let's get into it. Here we go. My first most confident pick of the week, I want to mention that this card has some good dogs, has a little bit of some traps, just like every single card, but we have to mention that with this card, just like every single other card, we have to mention our lock of the week streak. We are on 1 lock of the week streak. Our last was UFC Macau. I bet you we would have been on a 2 lock of the week streak if we had UFC during the Thanksgiving break. But now we're going to find out if the lock of the week streak continues. That's one of the most important things of this entire show. And the bonuses as well. And of course, I have a parlay section, Parley Time at the end of the segments. So I'm going to give you guys my first most confident pick of the week. Here we go. Without further ado, just want to make sure everything is set. Here we go. Without further ado, let's go. It's Christmas time because I'm giving out parlays. I'm giving out parlays for Christmas. So Joshua Van minus 158 against Cody Durden, who's a plus 124. We have to mention that Cody Durden is a vet. He's a vet going up against a guy who's 11-2 in the UFC. Fairly new to the UFC. Just recently got knocked out prior to his most recent win against Edgar Chairez, but he did get wobbled against Edgar Chairez as well. So we can mention that this guy's a little bit chinny, but he's stepping up very fast, very quick turnaround from UFC 306, O'Malley versus Uselyis, all the way now to UFC 310. I want to mention that both of these guys are susceptible to uppercuts. Cody Durden just got knocked out by Bruno Silva by an uppercut, but he was controlling that entire fight. Cody Durden's a wrestler. Joshua Van's a guy who tends to want to put the volume and is a slow starter, but then as the fight gets on, he puts the volume, puts the pace, puts the pressure. A guy like Joshua Van was having a little bit of issues at the start of the 3rd round. I think my honest opinion was because he started too fast. He started too fast early, and that had to be with Charles Johnson's pace. Charles Johnson's pace was absolutely insane this entire fight, so you had to be perfect for 15 minutes, and he caught him right there. As we can see, caught him right over the temple, got him a little wobbled, and then boom, the uppercut puts him out. We have to show this because both of these guys have been put out pretty brutally to the point where they could no longer continue. I want to mention that Joshua Van, since that loss, he's improved. I know that was not that long ago, but he's improved. And I know a lot of these highlights are prior to his finish. We have to look at his takedown defense. We know Cody Durden's going to be trying to take him down. Cody Durden's going to be trying to hold him against the fence and make what you want. It's the flyweight division, but these guys are willing to put full gas, all gas, no brakes. He gets off, pieces off on him. Likes to pivot when he's off the cage. When his back is on the cage, he likes to pivot, and he can go for his own takedowns as well. We know that this guy is not the highest, his opponent is not the most elite as Cody Durden, but we know that there's some similarities that we can kind of compare. We know Cody Durden needs to get that wrestling going. If he can't get that wrestling going, he tends to look a little sloppy in the striking department. Joshua Van tends to just want to work, but if you can hit him with a good shot, it tends to put him out. I want to show you guys more highlights of Joshua Van. Right here, Joshua Van flaunts an 83% takedown defense in the UFC. Gives one up here, but he gets right back to his feet and makes his opponent pay for fruitless exertion of energy. Let me just mute it right here. And at a minus 158, I'd rather just take money line. A submission could come out of nowhere. A KO could come out of nowhere. I don't want to take... If you want to take another prop that I have for this fight, it's probably that this fight goes a distance. But I'd rather just take money line on either side, whether you want to jump on the dog or you want to jump on the slight favorite. This guy's very good takedown defense. We know that his takedown defense is relatively untested because he's very young at 23 years old. But we're going to see if he's put up to the test, and Cody Durden's a perfect test for him. So give me Joshua Van at a minus 158. I'll just take money line to beat Cody Durden by unanimous decision. Let's go. My second most confident pick of the week. We already went past the first one, and Edgar Chairez, man, he scared me. So be careful with a guy like Joshua Van. He tends to make fights a little bit closer than they need to be. So nothing wrong with a light sprinkle. Now, my second most confident pick of the week. Merry Christmas. I'm giving out parlays. Ho, ho, ho. Movsar Evloev. Let's go. I know a lot of people are on Aljamain Sterling, but I want to convince you, and I want to try to make sure you're on the right bandwagon. I love Aljamain Sterling. His Funk Harbor rum is going through the charts with all of his publicity and how he brings it up to media day. Movsar Evloev minus 265. Aljamain Sterling plus 200. We have to look at Movsar Evloev, how he's 18-0 facing off. This could be a number one contender fight. Maybe you could say Diego Lopez is next. Maybe you could say somebody else is next. But in my opinion, I think this is a number one contender fight. We know that a lot of people like to make these accusations that whether Movsar Evloev at a minus 250, whether he's on juice or not, how much steroids is Movsar Evloev on? I like to throw that joke out. I just wanted to throw that out there because with these guys, with these Russians, they like to... No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go. Never forget, Movsar Evloev got saved by the bell twice against Diego Lopez in short notice. And somebody in the comments said a 30-27 is not a flex, and I thought that was a pretty good comment. We have to mention that without these submission attempts, I mean, obviously, it's MMA, but these submission attempts looks closer than they actually were. Movsar's fine in these submission attempts, and we could see maybe Aljo go for a submission attempt, but he likes to take your back. He doesn't like to go for leg locks like this or he likes the heel hook or anything like that. I do see Aljamain Sterling being in a position like this where he's on bottom and he can throw up something, trying to, sweep, trying to get back to his feet. But I wanted to show this just to show how good Movsar defense is and how good he is at maintaining top control. He's way better than Cody Durden at it. And this is how they looked when they were, for the first time, we see the height, we see the differences on Tapology, but when we see them in real life, Aljamain Sterling and Movsar had a rather cordial interaction ahead of UFC 310. So we look at them right here, look at them shake hands, and Aljo's taller. I don't know if it's the shoes, I don't know what it is, but Aljo's taller than him. And a lot of people are going to take this into consideration, considering how long his legs are, how long his limbs are. If he takes your back, this is the backpack king. He just needs to backpack you, and I could definitely see Aljamain Sterling backpacking Movsar Evloev for at least a round, but I think Movsar Evloev is going to win this fight by split decision. I want to show this as well. I thought that this was pretty funny considering everything that's going on. It says it's Movsar Evloev fight week, baby. Let's go. My second most confident pick of the week. Let me introduce you guys to Movsar Evloev.
So kind, you're so protective, you're like my daddy. Is that what you like to hear?
No.
Do you want to fuck me, William?
No.
No, yeah.
Never
of course
mind.
you do. Of course you do. Everybody wants to fuck the 15-year-old.
Yo, I thought that was crazy. That's my second most confident pick of the week. My third most confident pick of the week, Themba Gorimbo, 14-4-0. We have to mention how Themba Gorimbo is fighting against Vicente Luque. And Vicente Luque is a guy who fought Joaquin Buckley and was a shell of his former self because of the way that he shriveled up like if it was cold outside in winter. I don't like how Vicente Luque looked that fight. I love Vicente Luque. This is a guy who I thought was never going to get knocked out. He's a plus 136. Themba Gorimbo's a minus 174. I know a lot of people expected Themba Gorimbo to be a minus 200, but the fact that he's a minus 174 means that we could jump on him right now. I just prefer money line. When I click on it, the odds aren't fully up yet. It's Wednesday. I don't know why they're not fully up on FanDuel, but they will be later tonight, if not tomorrow. 14-4-0. And we have to look at how he started. The UFC fighter called Themba Gorimbo, his mother died when he was 9 and his father died when he was 13. Rest in peace. When he was 16 years old, he traveled to the local fields to illegally dig for Marange diamonds. Even though it was illegal, it was the only work he had. Eventually, when the police found him, they had German Shepherds bite him. Excuse me. If you see my body, I've got dog marks all over my body where I was bitten by dogs. That night probably changed me mentally as a person, changed everything. I got bitten by dogs. I lost a lot of blood and almost died. Luckily, I survived, and I'm here to tell a story about it. Recently, he won his first UFC fight. He won his first fight in the UFC, and up until that point, he had $7 in his bank account. All his money was spent on his flights to Vegas. He sleeps on a couch. After this fight, he sold his fight gear for $7,000. He used the money to build a water pump in Zimbabwe. What a pure soul.
Yeah, it's a blessing, I just feel like, it's the life we live, man.
And we know The Rock is backing him up, so we have to show that. We have to show our support. Themba Gorimbo, one of my third most confident picks of the week. Not only that, I think if there's a possibility Vicente Luque is nowhere near his prime, you know, he's grappling against RDA because he doesn't want to strike. If he's too scared, we could get a Themba Gorimbo knockout. Themba Gorimbo is enjoying his home back in Zimbabwe. Always goes back home to his roots. If you guys remember, this guy was in my 6 best bets the last time he fought against Nico Price. Now here he is again at UFC 310. Let's go. He's never failed me before, so he won't fail me again. This clip, well, I used this clip for the last time he fought Nico Price. So give me Themba Gorimbo to beat Vicente Luque. Themba Gorimbo via finish. I know a lot of people like that. Luque is washed, and durability he once relied on is no longer present. I expect him to have moments, but near midway point, Themba will land something that will rock Luque and change the fight with his length and power. I know this is a little skeptical because we know with Nico Price, a lot of people expected him to finish Nico Price, and he wasn't able to finish Nico Price, and he grappled him for a full decision. I say take double chance. Take Themba Gorimbo by KO or on points. Nothing could go wrong. And take Themba Gorimbo money line at a -174 just in case there's a Hail Mary submission. I'm going to go Themba Gorimbo. I'm going to go double chance. Themba Gorimbo by KO or on points just in case he wins a decision. Let's go. I think he should be able to beat Vicente Luque. And I have a nice little 2-leg with Themba Gorimbo after with my lock of the week. Here's the lock of the week. My 4th most confident pick of the week. The lock of the week. Here we go, baby. Let's go. Brian Battle, baby. 11-2-0. He is set to face off against Randy Brown. We have to make sure that Randy Rude Boy Brown is ready for this fight. Brian Battle's a -215. I believe sometimes he's a -250, so this is a regular price tag for him. Randy Brown's a +164. Brian Battle does have a little bit of a cut. Brian Battle seems to have a pretty large cut under his eyebrow. We know that this guy tends to not move his head at all, so this could be a little sketchy if a guy like Randy Rude Boy Brown is teeing up on him, you know, putting up a masterclass and he's bleeding. You don't want that to happen. So this is a little bit of a sketchy lock of the week, but it's my lock of the week, and we're going Brian Battle, baby. Randy Brown versus Brian Battle is such an interesting fight to bet on UFC 310. Battle doesn't move his head, but has constant pressure and volume. Randy uses his length and movement well. A technician at range. Very 50-50 fight, so I'll take Randy +200 dog. That's what this guy's saying. He's saying he likes to take Randy Rude Boy Brown because of his footwork, the way he is, the way he's fundamentally sound at striking. But I think a guy like Brian Battle should be able to set the tone, set the rhythm, eat a couple of punches to land some, and finish a guy like Randy Rude Boy Brown. We know JDM, Chaos Williams, a lot of guys were able to put Randy Rude Boy Brown out, and we know that when times like this show up, a guy like Brian Battle should be able to show up. This is one of his biggest tests, if by far his biggest test that he's ever faced. So this is going to be a very competitive fight, and I'm going to take double chance. Brian Battle by KO on points to beat Randy Rude Boy Brown. We have to show right here one of my favorite knockouts from him. Right here, you know, he had longer hair. Right now he has blonde hair, so he's evolving like a Super Saiyan. By far, one of my favorite KOs from him. Sets the tone. Let me just fast forward just a little bit. Here we go. This is when I really was like, wow, this guy is a menace. Right here. Boom, baby. Boom. And a beautiful high kick can land on Randy Brown and put his lights out. So I like Brian Battle by round 2 KO. And I like Brian Battle double chance by KO on points. Give me Brian Battle. Lock of the week. My 4th most confident pick of the week, guys. I gave you guys Joshua Van, Mazar Evloev, Themba Gorimbo, Brian Battle, lock of the week. My 5th most confident pick of the week, guys. Let's go. Nate Landwehr, baby. Nate Landwehr, 18-5-0. He's set to face off against Doo Ho Choi. This is an amazing fight because Doo Ho Choi just won one of his fights that he hasn't won in like 7 years, a lot of people are saying. And that could be a statistical fact. Nate Landwehr -142. Doo Ho Choi +112. The odds are very close for this fight. By far, one of the closest fights for odds. Nate Landwehr is a guy who just pushes pressure forward. Nate Landwehr and Doo Ho Choi have a combined for a total 24 finishes in 33 victories. I expect violence. I expect that this fight does not go the distance. Landwehr, 11 out of 18, 61%. And Doo Ho Choi, 13 out of 15, 86% finish rate. These guys are menaces when it comes to the finishing ability. Doo Ho Choi goes on Bill Algeo, and Bill Algeo quits. The fact that Bill Algeo was a shell of his former self after this guy hasn't had a win in 7 years. Shows how bad Bill Algeo is, and it also shows how good Doo Ho Choi is at being a perfect counter striker. We know here against Emmers dropped Landwehr. Landwehr's face is all bloody, and what does Emmers do? Fold at the slightest bit of adversity and gets knocked out cold by the better man, Nate Landwehr, the train, baby. You want some violence? This is what violence looks like. This is going to be one of my most anticipated fights of the entire card, if not fight of the night. This will be an absolute clinic. The fact that Nate Landwehr has fought some of the best competition, such as Ludwig Klein, and has finished the best set of competition, shows that this guy, Nate Landwehr, is a guy with amazing takedown defense, relentless pressure, can get a little chinned, can get a little wobbled, and we know that how many times can you get chinned and wobbled until it's done? But the fact that this guy's pulling out submissions from the gutter, pulling out submissions from hell, pulling everything he's got when it comes to who's going to quit first, my money's on... Okay, when it comes to who's going to fold at adversity first, I doubt it's going to be Nate Landwehr. I'll take Nate Landwehr to win this fight. That submission win over Ludwig Klein was by far one of his best submission wins, if not his best win. His takedown defense was put on show, on display, and we know how good Ludwig Klein is. So this is by far one of my most determining factors. The fact that this guy was able to finish a guy like Ludwig Klein. I don't think a guy like Doo Ho Choi could put up the same performance against a guy like Ludwig Klein. You put the pressure, you put the gas, and you make him put himself in positions that he doesn't expect to be in, and he's forced to tap in the third round. Banger fucking fight. Give me Nate Landwehr. Gave you guys my 5th most confident pick of the week, my 6th most confident pick of the week. Let's go. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Ciryl Gane, baby, 12-2-0, set to face off in the rematch against Alexander Volkov. Ciryl Gane is a -410, but relax, I got you. Volkov is a +290. What I like, my best prop for Ciryl Gane is double chance. Ciryl Gane by KO or on points, -300. Turns a -410. You reduce it by 110 points into a -300. Although the submission side could be a factor because he was able to, sometimes he jumps on heel hooks, sometimes he goes for a takedown like he went on Francis Ngannou. But I'm going to go Ciryl Gane by double chance, by KO on points at a -300. I think it's a good price tag, and we know that this guy's a phenomenal striker. We know that he fought against Volkov very long ago in 2021. 5-round main event, and it was a beautiful striking masterclass. He won that fight clearly. Against Volkov here, it's 3 rounds. Very important factor because this fight could favor Volkov being 3 rounds. The fact that his jab could get going, his leg kicks could get going, and he could hurt Ciryl Gane because of how much time away Ciryl Gane has been from the octagon. We know Ciryl Gane is known for fighting once a year, twice a year, every 9 months, and he always sets to perform. So a guy like Ciryl Gane, the only time he didn't perform was against John Jones and against Francis Ngannou a little bit. But I think Ciryl Gane should be able to put up a beautiful performance, if not win this fight inside the distance against Alexander Volkov. That's why I like the double chance by KO on points, just in case KO comes from hell. This is going to be a very good fight. The fact that he was able to finish Tai Tuivasa was one of the only fighters to ever drop Ciryl Gane. So that was a good fight. I like it when fighters face adversity and then they're still able to get finishes like this. It shows that they're in this game for a long time. Now, let me give you guys a quick recap and give you guys my 2 bonuses. Here we go. Joshua Van to win this fight, money line -158. Movsar Evloev -250 just to win money line. If you want to take double chance, I recommend by submission or on points because the KO is not likely for Movsar. But don't get fancy, just take him. My 3rd most confident pick of the week, Themba Gorimbo to win his fight by decision, by KO or on points, double chance. I like that. Brian Battle to win his fight, my lock of the week, by double chance, by KO or on points. My 5th most confident pick of the week, Nate Landwehr, just money line -142. He's a small enough favorite. And then Ciryl Gane, my 6th most confident pick of the week to win this fight by unanimous decision. If you want to get fancy, you could take by decision or you could take by KO separate. I like double chance for a -300. And now, let me give you guys the bonus. I'm going to have 2 bonuses for you guys. So the first bonus is going to be the over 2.5 for Ian Garry versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. I want to mention that Shavkat Rakhmonov is a -410. Ian Garry's a +290. What do we do in a moment like this? We either take the over or the under. Under 2.5 +128. over 2.5, minus 166. I'll take the over 2.5 out of minus 166. And I think it's likely because a guy like Garry just needs to touch the end of the third round. Over 2.5 minutes is basically after the first, after the second, 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the third round. Correct me if I'm wrong, whether it's 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I believe it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the third round. So does Garry make it 12.5 minutes? Does he make it 12.5 minutes long? I think he does. I think Garry should be able to last 12.5 minutes. We know a guy like Rakhmonov has never went full 15 minutes. So I'm a little pushing it, considering that this guy has finished everybody in 3 rounds. I'm pushing it, but I'm pushing it for the right guy. A guy like Machado Garry's the future. He should be able to last 12.5 minutes. And I'm pushing it, but this is what the bonus is about. The bonus is about finding that little hitch, that little good spot, that little golden goose egg. Here it is. Over 2.5 out of minus 166 for Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Garry. If you don't like that, take the under 2.5. It's plus money. Take either one. It's a bonus. This is why I'm giving it to you guys, for you guys to make the option. You can flip a quarter on it. I'll take the over 2.5 out of minus 166. And then I want to mention that he did mention how
sessions,
he admitted that he got submitted by Shavkat Rakhmonov.
choked you out. Is that true?
If he's hanging on to something like that from training 2 or 3 years ago, then guess what? Do it on Saturday night. Do it underneath the bright.
So it's true, he did submit him, and that's a big factor because he could get a little first or second round submission, and that boom doesn't hit. Just want to throw that out there. But the over 2.5 is going to be my bonus for the co-main event. And now the second bonus, guys. You guys know the bonuses are overs or unders. So I say jump on it now before it turns into an over or under 4.5. I'll take the over 2.5 for the main event as well. Over 2.5 for Pantoja versus Kai Asakura is minus 140. The thing is, this one is a little bit more sketchy, and we're playing a little bit more with fire, considering Alexandre Pantoja has first round submissions. He just jumps on somebody's back and then just gets the rear naked choke against Alex Perez. And then in round 2, he has a rear naked choke over Brandon Royval. So the over 2.5 wouldn't hit in an instance like that. But in an instance where it's a Brandon Moreno, Brandon Royval, Steve Uselyis fight, the over 2.5 hits. A Manel Cap fight, the over 2.5 hits. The only thing is, if he gets an early finish, that's when it doesn't hit. But that's why I give you guys another little nice prop for this one. An extra, I wasn't going to give it to you guys, but Alexandre Pantoja by submission or on points. Double chance, Alexandre Pantoja by submission or on points, minus 140. It's the exact same. The over 2.5, minus 140. Under 2.5, plus 110. But Pantoja by submission or on points, minus 140. So 3 bonuses. Over 2.5 co-main event, Shavkat Garry. Over 2.5 Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Asakura. And then, if you want this one, Pantoja by submission or on points, minus 140. Now it's the parlay time. It's parlay section. This guy is 2-0 against Brandon Royval. 3-0 against Brandon Moreno. Hasn't fought Amir Albazi. Fought Kai France. 1-0 against Alex Perez. Steve Uselyis. Manel Cap. This is gonna be probably the flyweight GOAT in the future, other than Demetrius Johnson. But this guy's looking like he's gonna be the flyweight GOAT. So I'm gonna give you guys the parlay time. It's parlay section. It's parlay time. Here we go. The parlay time. I gave you guys 3 bonuses. Those being over 2.5 co-main, over 2.5 main event, and Pantoja by submission on points at a minus 140. You could do a same game parlay considering FanDuel's doing it. Here we go. It's parlay time. I'm gonna give you guys my best parlays. I have parlays already made. So this is my first parlay that I put half a unit on. Here we go. Bryan Battle and Themba Gorimbo. Bryan Battle and Themba Gorimbo. I can't find him. I must have passed him. Oh, he's... where is it? I can't find it. I don't know. Okay, Bryan Battle and Themba Gorimbo for plus 130. Half a unit, $50 on it. You win $50 or 65 around there, like 65. So I have half a unit, $50 on Bryan Battle and Themba Gorimbo to win their fights. Bryan Battle and Themba Gorimbo. Here he is. There he is. I couldn't find him. Themba Gorimbo and Bryan Battle. 2-leg parlay plus 130. Half a unit straight to win half a unit back. That's my first parlay. Second parlay. Bryan Battle, Pantoja, and Movsar Evloev. Just straight money line on all of them. Bryan Battle, Pantoja, and then Movsar Evloev for plus 173. Another half a unit, $50 to win around 86, I believe, 86. So those are two parlays that I have. One 3-leg and one 2-leg. One being Brian Battle and Themba Gorimbo, and then the other one being Brian Battle, Pantoja, and Movsar Evloev. That's my 3-leg. Those are the safety parlays. And then this is another 4-leg parlay that I like. Nate Landwehr straight, Shavkat Rakhmonov straight, Cyril Gane by KO on points, and then Bryce Mitchell by sub on points comes to plus 243. Half a unit on that, you win around more than half a unit back, around probably like $80 back if you put half a unit on it. So those are my 4 safety. Those are actually my 3 safety parlays. Like my safer side, on the safer side. Now we're gonna get a little bit to the the more plus money side. Movsar Evloev, Themba Gorimbo, Brian Battle, Nate Landwehr, Bryce Mitchell by sub on points, Cyril Gane by KO on points, over 2.5 Garry Shavkat, over 2.5 Pantoja Asakura comes up to plus 2,484. I'm gonna say it one more time. Movsar Evloev moneyline, Themba Gorimbo moneyline, Brian Battle moneyline, Nate Landwehr, Bryce Mitchell by sub on points, Cyril Gane by KO on points, over 2.5 Garry Shavkat, over 2.5 Pantoja Asakura comes up to plus 2484. So that's 2,484. I like that. I already placed that one parlay. Dom Reyes, and I go lightly because that probably couldn't hit. My next parlay: Dominic Reyes, Joshua Van, Michael Chiesa, Chase Hooper by submission, Kennedy and Jekachu, Choi Nate Landwehr fight doesn't go the distance, Shavkat by sub or KO, and then Pantoja by sub or points for a plus 2,163. And that's one of my other parlays that I placed $2.50 on, I think. And you win around like $35. So I'm trying to help you guys out with the parlay section, around 7 to 8 leg parlays. Here's another parlay that I like. Movsar Evloev, Brian Battle, Chris Weidman, Kennedy and Jekachu, Bryce Mitchell by KO on points, Shavkat, Garry doesn't go the distance. Okay, and then Pantoja Asakura doesn't go the distance for plus 995. That's probably one of my other best ones. And then I'll go Dominic Reyes, Themba Gorimbo. Hello. I'm good, how are you? And then here's my other parlay, my last parlay. Sorry, let me repeat the 995 again. 995. Movsar Evloev, Brian Battle, Chris Weidman, Kennedy and Jekachu, Bryce Mitchell by KO on points, Shavkat Garry doesn't go the distance, and Pantoja Asakura doesn't go the distance, plus 995. That's $10 on it. $10 on it I have. And then my next parlay, Dominic Reyes, Themba Gorimbo, Nate Landwehr, Cyril Gane by KO on points, Shavkat by sub on points. Same game parlay, Shavkat Garry doesn't go the distance, and then Pantoja by sub on points. So this is a little bit sketchy because a lot of people don't have the same game parlay for FanDuel. But I put same game parlay, Shavkat Garry doesn't go the distance, and then I put Shavkat by submission on points. Then I put Cyril Gane by KO on points. Then I put Nate Landwehr, Themba Gorimbo, Dominic Reyes, and then Pantoja by sub on points. For all that together, plus 2,080. I like that one as well. And then let me give you guys my notable dogs. Chris Weidman, Michael Chiesa, Cody Durden, Aljamain Sterling, Doohoo Choi, Ian Garry, and Kai Asakura. Let me mention that one more time. Notable dogs. Chris Weidman, well, he's not a dog no more. Michael Chiesa, Cody Durden, Aljamain Sterling, Doohoo Choi, and Ian Garry, Kai Asakura. I want to mention that with these parlays, I'm just going to give another quick recap just in case, because I know that this is a new section for me and it could get a little confusing. Movsar Evloev, Themba Gorimbo, Brian Battle, Nate Landwehr, Bryce Mitchell by sub on points, Cyril Gane by KO on points, over 2.5 Garry Shavkat, over 2.5 Pantoja Asakura. That's one of my other degens. One of my safer sides is the one that I like. I like this one a lot. Dominic Reyes, Themba Gorimbo, Nate Landwehr, Cyril Gane by KO on points, Shavkat by sub on points, same game parlay, Shavkat Garry doesn't go the distance, and then Pantoja by sub on points comes up to a plus 2,080. Those are some of my best parlays, but my favorite parlays are the ones that I already placed. Brian Battle, Themba Gorimbo, plus 130. Brian Battle, Pantoja Movsar, plus 173. And then Nate Landwehr, Shavkat, Cyril Gane, Bryce Mitchell by sub on points, plus 243. I already have half a unit on those. And it's pretty good. You can mix and match with all these 6 best bets. A little bit of a longer video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys like this content. And let me know if you guys are excited. Let's go. UFC 310. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Lock of the week hit. Let's go. Does lock of the week streak continue? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Peace. Fuck yeah.